I think a lot of YouTubers fell in the trap that they always have to please their audience, no matter what, and that should be their main goal, and that's the kind of YouTubers that end up becoming sort of slaves to themselves and their own content, and eventually it just leads to the demise of the channel, because after a while people aren't going to be interested anymore. If you're a Minecraft channel and...
What the hell is he talking about? Oh, ouch. Yikes. Oh my god. We're going under. There's only one person who can help us. Well, that's me. But I'll use PewDiePie by making an updated The Rich Life video.
This is gonna be the most boring episode of The Rich Life. Let's just watch and see what he says that we have.
PewDiePie has become one of the most dominant forces in the online creator community and has created one of the biggest platforms in media history. Now, speaking of the numbers, PewDiePie is the biggest YouTuber in the game. And while his online empire continues to grow, he keeps racking in more and more M's in real life. That's M for millions, not billions. Sorry. Because he's made billions and millions of dollars.
What? Did he just say billions and millions?
But that money should allow Felix to live comfortably for the rest of his life, because the guy lives a pretty humble lifestyle. Besides a couple of cars and pets that we covered in our last video, well, PewDiePie only likes to spend money on the things that are most important to him, like investing money into a brand new home studio for video production. There's also a massive engagement ring for his beautiful fiance, trips around the world, and making sure he has the most comfortable chair in the game.
But can you do this?
Now, PewDiePie did a reaction to our Before They Were Famous video and our The Rich Life video on him. The first one wasn't all that great. Felix recalled that there was...
I just want to say...
Now, if you're watching this one, Felix, I'm sorry for copying your haircut.
Damn, that's depressing to think about, isn't it?
Now, in our original The Rich Life video, I guess that PewDiePie's net worth was around $50 million.
Totally random guess by Michael McCrudden. Well, if it comes from Michael McCrudden's mouth, it has to be true.
But that was back in July of 2017. This time, Felix did our work for us, and he looked up his own net worth.
What is PewDiePie's net worth? Okay, this one says 20 million. Okay, I would say it's definitely more than that.
Today we're gonna take a look at PewDiePie's financial come up and what he's recently spent his money on, besides whiskey. In fact, I heard he's called it quits on drinking alcohol altogether. Not a bad idea. I should probably do the same. One kid the other day, he called me the fat god. Yeah.
Some people are just cruel.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy Michael McCrudden here for you on The Rich Life, and today we'll be taking a look at the rich life of YouTube's golden child, good old PewDiePie. Now, we've done a Rich Life video on him before, but since so much has happened with his career over the past few years, well, we decided it was a good enough time as any for an update. Other recent uploads include Mr. Beast and Liza Koshy, but we need your suggestions on who to do next. How about PewDiePie's new BFF, Elon Musk?
Hi, Felix.
Like with every The Rich Life video, we've got a question for you now that you'll have to stick around until the end to find out the answer. Today's question is, what is the world's most expensive lasagna? All right, now let's get into this video. Since we've done 3 Before They Were Famous videos on the man, plus of The Rich Life, well, we'll save you the biography and you can go check out any of those videos for his full story. But just so we don't have to go through the whole thing again, I will start by pronouncing PewDiePie's full name correctly for the very first time.
I'm so excited. Let's watch.
Felix Kjellberg.
Was it as easy as it looked?
Kjellberg.
No, sir.
Kjellberg. Felix Kjellberg.
Okay, everybody, that's a wrap.
Kjellberg.
PewDiePie recently did his biannual Google of himself, and we learned a lot about his life.
PewDiePie, a Swedish YouTuber, comedian, and video game player. I'm a video game player. Not a gamer. I'm a video game player. Thank you very much.
PewDiePie's YouTube career has seen a lot of ups and a lot of controversy, but through all that, he's become a household name. Most recently, he has been involved in the most intense subscriber battle in YouTuber history. Him and T-Series have been going back and forth, and the community has been rallying around PewDiePie to try and keep him in the #1 spot. Currently, he is sitting at 92 million subscribers and over 20 billion views, but that number goes up every minute. So don't get mad at me if the numbers are a little off right now. But even though he is behind in subscribers at the time of this recording, one thing he is not losing is his YouTube money.
How much does PewDiePie make a day? By Forbes' estimate, he receives 12 million in 2015. According to the Money Nation, this helped increase his net worth to 68 million. Very old data, isn't it?
If PewDiePie were working by the hour, well, he would have an insane salary.
$3,400 per hour? Not bad for a university dropout.
And while PewDiePie says he made the decision not to do huge corporate brand deals,
I'm pretty sure I am not the richest YouTuber. I don't do these sort of mega deals.
he still does have a lot of sponsorship deals and ads in his videos with companies like Origin PC and G Fuel, and we must imagine he makes quite a bit of money off of these deals. FragHero.com reported that PewDiePie made $250,000 from doing a deal with the Swedish company Happy Socks, but that was back in 2016.
I got my own socks!
And according to CelebrityNetworth.com, he charges an estimated $450,000 for every sponsored video as of 2018. So the number is probably even higher as of right now. PewDiePie also continues to make a killing in the merch game. Last time we took a look at PewDiePie's merch line, well, he was completely sold out of all items except for fidget spinners.
I love how that's the only thing you can buy in my merch right now. You can buy a fucking fidget spinner.
But I've actually yet to receive my own fidget spinner, so if you have any left, please, send them on over. While the fidget spinning trend might be complete, the need to fidget, it still remains.
Give me your address. I will send you all the fidget spinners you need, baby.
As of today, his merch store is packed with a lot more than just fidget spinners. He's got an entire lineup of clothing that includes hats, jackets, sweaters, shirts, and more. And on shoppewdiepie.com, you have a choice between two different items. His Swedish meatball dinner, which is currently sold out, although I think IKEA is selling a similar one. And his Swedish meatball shirt for $28. Man, one day I would love to eat PewDiePie's meatballs while wearing his meatball shirt. That sounded weird.
Gay. And there's nothing wrong with that.
He has also made nearly 42 million in merchandise. What? No way.
Felix has also teamed up with Marzia on a new Japanese-inspired line known as Suki, which is Japanese for moon. And these are unisex clothing and home products that are ethically made. All right, so we know there are quite a few streams of revenue for Felix, but what does he spend his money on? Well, he says he tries not to spend too much.
In a way, I try to live modestly, because obviously I don't, but in considering how much I make, I try to live modestly because I want to just live a normal life. I don't want the money to change my life.
But there are a few things that he spent some cash on over the past few years that have made an impact in his life. First and foremost, he invests a lot of money he earns right back into his craft. His home studio where he creates the magic is pretty expensive.
This is not a beast. This is a monster.
No, not that kind of magic.
Cool. Does anyone else want me to be here just to explain the jokes for everyone?
First and foremost, his computer, which was made for him by his sponsor, Origin PC, so I'm guessing that he didn't have to pay for it. But in terms of the specs, well, they're worth quite a bunch. Quite a bit, they're worth quite a bit.
This is the Mona Lisa of computers, guys. Okay?
The Asus Prime X299 is worth anywhere between $300 and $800. His CPU, it'll cost you around $2,000 to buy online. His RAM, well, that will cost you between $500 to $1,000. And I'm not talking about the animal. You mess with the bull, you get the horns.
Okay, good one.
His GPU, which costs $1,300 on Amazon. His M2 drive, which is only $150 via Amazon. And of course, his monitors. Now he has 3 Asus Curve gaming monitors that go for around $800 each.
Very nice.
Then we have the keyboard for about $100, a mouse for $60, a mousepad for $23.99, a mic and a mic arm which go for about $1,000 combined. Headphones for...
You can't find these anywhere because we sell them on the website, but you can find them. You should find them.
Our investigative research team found them in the description to the video, and they go for around $100. Yeah, you can't get anything past us, Felix. Plus his green screen that drops down and his lighting.
More greenish tone, but it works. It works pretty well.
And the sensors for VR that go for around $500 online. His camera, which is $1,300, and on top of that, well, Felix, he is a collector of art. His cause figurines that sit on his shelf in his room, they are hard to miss. And to have famous artists work on your shelf, well, it'll cost you around $500 each. But sorry PewDiePie, you're still not on Swizbeat's level just yet. And how can we forget the infamous PewDiePie chair, which cost $3.99 to buy online?
Why is PewDiePie chair so expensive? It's a high quality chair with Italian leather and fashion.
Now if you add all of that up together, it will cost you billions and millions of dollars.
He definitely said billion.
But for real, the setup in that room adds up to around $10,000 and is most likely, well, cost a little bit more with all the fixins. But PewDiePie does like to have a work-life balance and he loves to travel all over the world with his girl. And eventually, his ultimate goal, it's to buy a house in Japan.
And have enough to be able to sustain myself for the future.
Alright, we decided to do some last minute research and look up how much a house costs in Tokyo. The average price for a newly constructed house in the western suburbs of Tokyo is 42 million yen, which is around 400,000 like American, I'm guessing. Sounds cheap. I'm sure he's gonna get something a little nicer than that. Plus, it looks like he spent a pretty penny on an engagement ring for the love of his life. And she deserves it. While PewDiePie mostly just rocks his own merch, he occasionally likes to drop some cash on expensive hypebeast clothes like his Supreme hat.
That is some hot Supreme.
I guess it was Supreme and not Supreme. But he did recently buy a pair of Y3s and for resale, well, they'll cost anywhere between 200 and 500 bucks. But for the most part, PewDiePie doesn't like super popular high-end clothing brands.
I remember back in when I was young, everyone in Sweden had these stupid Canadian Goose jackets that cost like at least $1,000. And I remember if you went to like the shady neighborhoods in Sweden, they'd literally tear that shit up.
Now I recently got myself a Canada Goose vest, so it looks like I won't be going to Sweden anytime soon. Now he also spent some money on his tattoos. Speaking of, if this video gets 10 million views, well, I'll let PewDiePie choose what tattoo I get for myself. Please say Fact God and not Fat God, please.
Take that!
And despite what all the major media outlets will have you believe, Felix and his fans have raised an insane amount of money for charities all over the world. More than $1 million have been raised over the course of the years from Felix initiatives.
I think it's important to note though that I think a lot of people think, oh, if I only had money, then it would solve all this problem for me, when it's not really true.
And of course, he bought T-Series some lasagna, which according to Google costs between 10 to 20 bucks, depending on the grocery store you go to. But the most expensive lasagna in the world is actually $100. It has diamonds and gold in it. I don't know. Alright, there's the answer to your question, and that's it for this video. Of course, my name's Michael McCrudden, the Fact God, and let us know who will be next on The Rich Life. I got a good feeling it's gonna be Elon Musk. At least I hope so. Also, PewDiePie, when are you gonna buy a Tesla? Been creeping you on Instagram, bro. I'm waiting. Alright, see you guys in another video. Boom!
Well said.